news. Like, on day one, I'm going to fix all the things that I'm doing wrong. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Internet Dad Show. I'm JJW. That is Little Dude. And we are the Internet Dads, and we are here Monday through Friday-ish, around 8-ish, to read the news and talk about whatever's going on in the world. You're going to learn fascinating things. You're going to learn things about American politics. You're going to learn things about international affairs. You're going to learn things about finance. You're going to learn things about cryptography or robots or AI or I don't know, some sort of weird mysticism stuff that Deke talks about. The sound energy, talking about the waves of doing the thing of the whatever. I don't know. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And you know what? Give us feedback. Leave those comments and tell me how I can do a better job of being some sunshine for your day. Let a little light in, lift the mood, elevate your soul and your spirit. I'm just waiting for Deke to get off the phone. Morning, guys. Well, we weren't going to do a show this morning because I artificially imposed a huge amount of stress that I shouldn't have done, and I really messed things up. So I think we're gonna do our side project as a side project rather than on this show. So I'll let you know more about that as we get to it. Yum coffee. All right, there's Deke.
Sorry. That lady was like, "What's your address?" And she was about 86. So I couldn't go pop 7 in blah 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 into the address into the GPS. No.
Yeah, it's amazing that some people still live before the internet. It's crazy.
But you know what? We had this conversation over the weekend. We had a fish fry at my uncle's house, and I was poking fun at my dad. And I was saying they were talking about dad because he's a driver. He's always driven. He's always been a driver. He always uses his maps and his atlas. And I was joking. I said, yeah, a couple months ago, Dad was going up north, and I walked in there, and he's sitting there in his recliner with his big atlas, that 15-foot book, you know. And I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm planning my trip, blah blah blah." And I was like, "You know, they have this." I held up my phone. I was like, "That does that now?" And he goes, "Yo, when that thing's not working, nobody knows how to read map anymore." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, you got a good point, sir.
Maps don't need signal. You don't need to charge your map."
You don't. I mean, a lot of kids don't know how to read maps.
It's maybe not safe to pull out a giant map while you're driving a truck, but okay.
That's why. Yeah. That's why you do it beforehand. Yeah. Okay. So, good morning. How's everything?
Yeah. Dude? Hey, there's Dave. Dave, you better cover up anything that should be covered. Oh, okay. Morning. Good morning, guys. Morning. Okay, so I apologize. Yesterday, I got over my skis. What's the expression? What expression do you guys have for in they call getting over your skis, or where you put the cart before the horse, or something like that?
I don't know. Getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I did that.
You have a lot of
I thought like, oh, we're ready to go. And then what? Well,
is there a lot of skiing out there in Texas?
No, there's none. That's why I don't know the expression.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I never heard that one.
Right before the horse.
No, just for anybody wondering here, real quick, we'll just recap real quick. We have been trying to plan a RPG game between us for a couple of years now, and we finally got a great idea. We think it's going to be very interesting for the viewer, and we were going to take one Friday and do it. Not have a show and do it on a Friday. Well, we've got a hard stop time at 9.
Yeah,
we got a hard stop time. So we've decided we're going to try to film it once a month and then offer it up on our Rumble channel for those that want to watch it and still do our Friday show. So, and it's not a big deal. It's just, I think me and you and Dave, Dave's actually kind of our freaking anchor sometimes, but me and you have 7 million ideas going 7 million ways, and we're like, let's do this and let's do this and let's do this and let's do this and blah blah blah. And it's like,
I'm so glad you don't know my life.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, I completely understand that. It's not a big deal.
All right. Yeah. So my bad. I mean, I kind of thought that we were ready to go, and then we did some tech rehearsal, and it was like, well, this is not working. Now, Dave, you sent me the thing to pump more GPU power into my browser. Okay, I did that. but the tool still runs super hot.
Don't use
all of this-
Firefox or Chrome
I'm not
or
I'm not.
Edge. You're using Edge, aren't you?
What are you gonna do? Use no browser? What are you talking about? I'm not using Safari.
I ended up using Safari and it worked wonderful.
Not doing that. So no, we do the show and all of this, and as long as I have my fans turned on, like my computer can do that. But that website, you load that website, and it just it literally makes the
I
temperature on
agree.
my PC go crazy high. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Anyway,
There is.
Make me moderator.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. All right. Listen, I don't even need to ask this question because I already know the answer, but I will. Oh, are we going to show this?
I was just going to
It's
show
okay.
the title
Cool.
page.
Are we doing this?
No, I was just going to show it.
All right. So do you want to tease what we're doing and then see, and then let's see if people would be interested. There's nobody watching yet. So
Yeah, but I could give a quick synopsis. The 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, right? The kids,
yeah,
the kids, real quick. The kids go to a carnival in the title. They're at a carnival. They go into the it's a Dungeons and Dragons ride. They go into the Dungeons and Dragons ride. They're transported to a different realm, and so in our game, that cartoon never existed. We lived in that world. These kids went to this carnival. They disappeared on this ride in the 80s. It was a big deal. News media got all over it. The kids were never found. The carnival shut down. 40 years later, there's a group of guys who's got a podcast, and they're like, let's go and discover this carnival, and this is going to be
Let's
a really
explore
good
it.
episode, right? So we go into this is the actual ride that they disappeared on. Boom, we're transported to the realm.
that's going to be fun. See, I love you selling this idea. It's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. And what I have got,
Ooh.
the little bitty things and the stories that I've got, I think is going to be grand. So if folks have never played, don't even know what it is, or have always wondered, I
Okay,
think you're
have
gonna like it.
fun.
Dave's played before. JJ's never played before. I have
never
played for 30 years. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think y'all are going to
Yeah,
like
it sounds
I'm
good.
ready
It's a
to
good
go.
pitch. You know what we
but
should do
we've
before
gotta
we
fix some
release the
technical
shows?
stuff.
Yeah, we got to. Okay. All right. Let's move on with the stuff. But that's
I don't know
that's
what
our
we should do.
teaser.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, what were you going
You
to
got
say?
to finish your
I
thought
think-
there.
I mean, I really like I want us to however we produce the show, it should be like really good or whatever. But like we should like front end it with like an intro video or intro theme song outro. But we should do somehow some like 15-second commercials, like promo commercials.
Dress
for
up
the
as your
story.
character, JJ.
I want to. I want to. I'm
I'll let y'all deal with that.
All right.
I love
So
it.
here we go with the news. So guys, I know that maybe I'm mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you watch? I know you didn't.
No.
Kamala Harris and her emotional support animal Tim Walz gave an interview to CNN's Dana Bash yesterday, setting the
did.
world on fire. Yeah,
Oh, they did?
setting a tremendous record for a presidential candidate to answer some questions from the media, which so far Kamala Harris has not done, except for this interview. She's literally chosen by the Democratic Party, not Democratic voters, but the Democratic Party to be their candidate, and has given no interviews until yesterday. So let's learn about it. Why don't
How
we?
long has she been running? She's been running
like-
for a few weeks, so
How long does it take to answer questions? Donald Trump, when he was president, literally gave an interview every single day. He'd be walk into the car and the
in all
person would be
fairness,
like,
that is the most Trump thing ever.
Do you
Right,
know why?
yeah.
Because Trump doesn't need. Trump is a
He's
smart
not a
enough guy,
politician.
and he is educated enough in the questions that they're going to ask that he can actually give an answer, and he's not having to feed questions to CNN reporters.
yeah. Well,
That's
also
why she
there's
doesn't
this.
take. That's why she doesn't take spontaneous questions, and that's why they're having this crap about this debate. In my personal opinion, is because
Mhm.
she is not a smart person.
Well,
So
I agree.
Donald Trump's IQ and wisdom is a lot greater than hers. Okay, whether you like the guy or not, a fact is a fact. And he can answer questions, even Spitfire fireball questions that he's gotten his entire life. He can answer them with grace and poise, and she can't do it.
All right, let's go.
So you made me think of this too. I don't know if you've ever known a liar in your life, but liars have to keep their story straight. People that tell the truth, they just have to remember things. And you're saying Donald Trump tells the truth? He's not a liar? No, I'm saying, I mean, he's an overstater. He will exaggerate. He's a salesman. But when you're not just making stuff up constantly, you don't have to remember the stuff that you've made up. So most of the time he's being truthful, even if he overstates things. However, I can imagine that the intensity for her to try to figure out some way that she's not responsible for the last 3.5 years when she is basically the co-signer for all Bidenomic policies. So, she's got a tough job. Kamala Harris blames Trump for the border crisis and the economy. And Waltz blames stolen valor on bad grammar in this new CNN interview. And we've talked about all of these things many times before. Donald Trump wanted to build a wall. Nancy Pelosi wouldn't give him money. He found money anyway, and they got a lot of wall built. And we reduced illegal immigration. And border czar Harris has overseen the largest infiltration of America by undocumented persons in history. She sat for her first interview. Her running mate sat by her side. This is so weird. I think everybody has agreed that it's super weird. Like, do you bring your wife on job interviews? Because that's what this was. This was a job interview for the presidency, and she brought her buddy. Make her, not feel so bad. Here's Kamal. So here's a clip. It's only a minute. We can get through this.
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number.
I can't listen to somebody just blatantly spew bullshit. As soon as my bullshit meter goes off, I'm done. I'm done paying attention to anything else that you're saying, because you are already lying at the very beginning. And if she thinks that they're
okay, so it is. Yeah, you turned your camera off or something. I don't know what you did, but we can still hear you.
Okay.
All right. So the Trump economy is widely regarded. You don't have to give him credit for it, but 2018, 2019, 2017, some of the best economic years of our country's history. And that led into, now that we went into this bogus pandemic thing, but we had a strong economy that our governors and federal people completely constrained by making us stay home and not go to work. Okay, so we had to recover from the economy. We haven't spent 3 years recovering from the economy. After a year and a half, everybody was back at work. So I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know what she's talking about either, because the economy was, I was doing really good 3-4 years ago. Ashley and I just had this conversation the other day about how much money we have in 4 years, man, in 4 years. So whatever she's saying, I don't care anymore.
And it's not just money. You could be making the same money, or you could be making even more money now than you were during the Trump era. But everything costs more, which means that your purchasing power is less, even if you're making way more money. So, all right, let's try again. Maybe that was a flub question. Let's see what she says here.
When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward.
Yeah. not you.
A new way forward. Okay. All right. Tim Walz was asked about his stolen valor. Let's see what he said
Governor
about that.
Walz, the country is just starting to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor.
We're not asking
my
about
record
that,
speaks
Tim.
for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do.
No, we're not
speak
asking about
candidly.
that,
I wear my
Tim.
emotions on
That's
my
not what we
sleeves, and
asked.
I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools. and
That's great,
around
Tim.
guns.
That's
So,
great.
I think people know me. They
Question
know who I am.
was-
They know where my heart is, and again, my record has been out there for over 40 years. To
Great.
speak for itself.
That's great.
The idea that you said that you were in war.
Yeah.
Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Can I just say, good job, Dana Bash. You didn't just accept that garbage. You went back to the actual question.
Thank
But you said you were in war and you were never in war.
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog.
No, we're not
Deflect,
doing. We're not
deflect,
changing the
deflect,
subject to
deflect.
attack on your children or anything. You said your record says. Did you misspeak? Because, that's really convenient because I do that for jokes. I misspeak on purpose for a punchline. So don't give me
Right.
this, I misspoke.
I mean, it reminds me of the first time that I landed on the moon. We really need to make sure that we fund NASA. Okay. Because if we don't have,
Never been to the moon.
sorry, bad grammar. All right. So that's the vice president. You know what? I had this other video that I wanted to play. Kind of, it's not related to the interview itself, but I saw this come across my Twitter feed this morning, and I was like, oh wow. Kyle Becker posted this video, and it looks like I guess it's a trailer for a pastor. I swear it's pretty good. Let me switch my right here. Show this tab instead. I'm gonna get you. This is only a minute or a couple minutes, but I want you guys to have a listen here to what this man says.
The Democratic Party is the evilest organization in the history of the world. Since their inception in 1800, they've been the party of slavery. Then, after slavery, they became the party of the Confederacy. After that, they started killing black people during Jim Crow era. You're voting for a party that tells you they are going to abort children up to the 9th month, castrate little boys, and call them little girls. Mutilate little girls and cut off their breasts and give them puberty blockers. And you don't think you're going to be held responsible? As we look at the Democratic Party and the chaos that they bring on our community, our young men, our young women, I have to ask you to look at what they've done to us. Look at what they've done to us. Look at what they've done to us.
And that's powerful right there.
Yeah, well, I can get anybody, a powerful speaker, to say some stuff and put some thunderous drums
Democratic
and
Party
show
Yeah,
you.
the music amplifies it.
The
Yeah,
music
sure.
absolutely amplifies it. That sound, the images.
Whatever they
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
they destroy.
He started off
That's
with
what
some
they do.
wrong
They
information, and
destroy.
that's once
They
again
decided to
got
try to
me to where
infiltrate the
I'm not
black
paying
community,
attention.
and they didn't have any success until
He started off with some wrong information.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get into it because it'll get us banned everywhere. But it's
I thought he started off with
What-
no man can serve two masters.
Yeah.
in the beginning he was started stating some crap that I'm like, oh,
So-
well, that's wrong.
I know that the music here is amplifying the emotional rhetoric and the images as well. However, if you will listen through that to him talking, to just speaking, I perceive that this is a guy who's saying things that he believes. Like there's conviction, authenticity.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, because I believe certain things with authenticity that you absolutely think I'm a ludicrous dumbass on. That doesn't mean that I don't have conviction and I don't believe, and I can get up and give you record something powerful and put some cool music behind it. I think almost convince you to my point of view.
Right. I agree. Authenticity and fervor does not mean truth.
I don't want to force you into my point of view, and that's what a lot of people they get so. There's a difference between fervor and, you know, absolutely just pushing it down your throat. And I'm not going to try to push my point of view on you. I hope maybe one day you will see where I'm coming from. But I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying, with some of the things that he's saying. And the direction he's going. I'm not disagreeing with the direction he's going, but what's the point of this?
I watched this morning. I was like,
commercial.
I was like, yeah, it's like a pitch for I guess a book series or an audio series or something like that, maybe a speech. But I found it to be like he's a riveting it was a riveting ad, but I know that the music is bringing you into it, and then there's the imagery. But I think most importantly, this is a black man saying outright the Democratic Party has for it's almost hundreds of years
for the black population.
Yeah, it's to get their attention and to get them to, listen to what else he has to say, for sure. But I mean, he's not sitting on the fence on it anymore. It's not like, well, some of their policies are good, some of them are bad. No, he's outright saying like they are. He let me just let it finish. I know it's only a minute left. Let me finish, and then you can.
Who did they meet? Martin Luther King. And this is where we went wrong. He made sure that he brought the black vote to the Democrat Party. They used the black vote to commandeer the most powerful country in the world. He who the Son has freed is free indeed. Once you accept him, you are free. Anybody in the Democratic Party that tells you any different, he's a liar, he's an apostate, he's the front to God, and he should be rejected by any Christian walking on this earth. And he's inviting you to go to hell with him. Don't go with him. Don't go.
Oh, will you go to hell for me? I guess is his website or whatever.
Hey, nobody's gonna watch that.
You don't think so?
No. Would you watch a movie called "Will You Go to Hell with Me"?
I don't know. I thought it.
The content looks like it's going to be interesting and provocative. Even I do have some issues with what he says here, but dude, that's a horrible name.
Exposes 25 Democrat. Nobody reads. The people just click links. They don't read the link. Exposes 25 Democrat destructive lies and how to refute them. And the Dem plan to use the black preacher, politician, and organizer to divide Christians. I think he's coming from an interesting place. It seems like he has a message that, I don't know. I wonder how much it'll be picked up. He's got 47,000 followers.
He starts off with that no man can serve two masters.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with Republicans and Democrats. It's all about money and God, or mammon and God, but he isn't inadvertently saying, okay, you can't do this. So if he's not pointing you back to God, he's pointing you to another master. And like theologically, I have issues with that right off the bat. Now, I'm not saying his content and what he's talking about isn't good or bad.
We don't know who the two masters are that he's arguing per se.
Correct. We don't. But if I can tell you that from what I'm seeing here, he is not pointing you back to God.
You don't think so?
No, this is a political rhetoric housed in scripture. And that frustrates me to no end.
It seems like he's taking issue with the fact that political parties have used religious leaders.
That's what he's doing right now, though.
To divert them from God into party power.
That has been done for 10,000, 30,000 years.
I mean, it seems like that's what his message is. Is like, don't get pulled into this by following the Martin Luther King leash, you know? All right. Well,
so are you suggesting that maybe we've been miseducated, JJ?
Well, I don't know about miseducated, but people can say true things and be dishonest. And absolutely, I think that's the case. People can say true things and be dishonest. And that includes true things in history that are not, that are taking you the wrong way. All right. Well, I just thought it was interesting. I thought I would see if you guys had opinion, but I didn't expect you to be so resistant entirely to what he might have to say. I don't really even know what he's saying. It's interesting.
I just didn't like the way that he started off framing everything. You know, you've got to frame the house before you put up the walls and the ceiling and everything. And that's the same way with your it's the same way with this little commercials like that. And it's a story. You've got to frame certain things so that you can elaborate on them in the meat of your in the meat. So you've got to have the bun. You got to have the beginning and the end of the buns, but you got to have the meat of your audio. And the way that he was framing his meat, I didn't like, because he was saying some stuff that I don't believe.
Okay, but you don't want to go into detail about it.
No, so, you don't want me to go into detail on it. I promise.
I don't. All right.
For streaming purposes.
There is a political maneuver technique where you make your opponent evil and the enemy. And again, not seeing this, everybody does it. Not seeing this video, that's 100% what he's doing. But dude, I know the Republican Party is guilty of some pretty.
He's not saying vote. He's not saying Republican.
Yeah, he did not
Republican.
He's saying, say that.
He's saying that this Democrats, specifically the Democratic Party,
who cares about this guy,
is up to some evil stuff. Okay. All right.
I want to know more about this guy. I do want to know more about this guy.
I'm curious. I'm interested. I saw the trailer and I thought it was
some random guy that's got people talking about some random movie that he was never going to get anybody to go watch because it's got a shitty title.
I thought it was a good commercial. It was.
So who are you going to share that with?
You need to see the trailer for The Acolyte.
I just did.
That was good.
You know what? I watched The Acolyte, and you haven't seen it.
I didn't watch it.
So I did.
But
I'm waiting for season 2.
Too
soon? Is that too soon? Was it too soon?
Nice. All right.
Like, who is the guy's audience? And are you going to share it with his audience?
White people, and I'm not black. Does that make me wrong for not being his audience?
No. But I think my question is a valid question. Are you going to share it with his audience?
I mean, I retweeted it.
Okay.
And I put it on the show.
Okay.
We talked about it for 20 minutes.
So whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? It's not my fault. I did my part. Do your part.
I'm not the audience. From what I'm seeing, I'm not the audience.
I'll do my part and segue us into a different topic.
Yep.
All right.
Hey,
you guys ever been to Colorado? Oh, you got okay. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No. You're good. Have I ever been to Colorado? Yes, I stayed one night in Colorado because we missed our plane as we were getting off to deboard the other plane. They were like, "Oh, there goes your plane out right there," and it was taking off. So Ashley and I were forced to stay in Colorado, and I got to see the crazy crap in the freaking airport there in Denver.
Oh,
all that crazy stuff, paintings and sculpture.
Illuminati stuff.
Oh, that's right. There's supposed to be like a secret moon base or something
underneath.
Dude, don't go down that. No, he's laughing because he has no clue about any of the facts that are out there about this place.
I've heard about it.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I was in Colorado for one night, and the reason I tell you all this is because we got to the hotel like 1 a.m. We're starving. It's freezing. We were going to Las Vegas, so we're in shorts and short sleeve shirts. We order a Domino's pizza. By like 2 a.m., the Domino's pizza, or 2:30, it hadn't got there yet. We called Domino's. They're like, yeah, we delivered it to room whatever that was right next door. I got pissed and went and was banging in my underwear on the room next door, and they would never open. But I was like, I want my damn pizza. I want my pizza.
Oh,
They
wow.
had taken our pizza, and so I
Stole-
actually like
this-
the story of me.
Your neighbors stole your pizza.
Yeah, trying to get
That's
the,
crazy.
from the hotel neighbors.
Well, the reason
It wasn't
that I
State Farm.
asked,
They're good
it
neighbors.
wasn't. It. Oh,
Oh, my bad. That was the correct.
Yeah. That was fast though.
That was good.
wow.
Real quick.
So the reason why I ask you is that I saw a video on X yesterday of some people in Colorado. And did you guys see this video? Apparently
Elaborate more.
Colorado is being taken over by
Oh,
Venezuela.
I did see this video. No, I did see this video. Venezuela.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. Here it is. This is from Wesley Hunt, Texas, I guess, but there's tons of people. Where's the share button? Sorry. Here we go.
I just
So
passed an
apparently-
opportunity to come to Colorado.
Apparently,
No, not this
this is a Colorado, an apartment complex in Colorado. An entire apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado, has been taken over by Venezuelan gangs. So they're just setting up now. Venezuela is one of the South American countries that have emptied out their. Oh, mute it.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
hear you. There we go.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Venezuela is one of the South American countries that have emptied out their prisons and mental asylums and just dumped them on our border. So these criminal gangs are reconstituting themselves here in America, and they're just taking over territory.
But where'd you say that
That's what
was, JJ?
Aurora, Colorado.
Aurora, Colorado. See, you live closer to a big city than Dave and I, right? We
Yeah.
live in just little podunky towns in Kentucky, right? We're
Okay.
not gonna see probably this problem right here.
Yeah, it'll
right?
never happen in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, you don't think it'll ever happen in Kentucky?
What's going on here? Oh,
Hopkinsville, Kentucky is about halfway between me and Dave, right? Wouldn't you say?
oh
Probably
my.
a little closer to me than it is to you, but both of this, I just read this morning. Venezuela couple charged with trafficking in drugs, and it's just they had a large amount of meth and 2 guns were found in their home. They're both from Venezuela, 32-year-old and a 25-year-old. The man's 25. They're lodged in the Christian County Jail. They're being held for charges for trafficking meth and being a federal prisoner held in transit. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty bad.
Federal prisoner is going to be, they're getting deported. Just waiting for transit. ICE.
Right there. They're here illegally.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
that's
that
what I would
Kentucky was a
assume.
border state.
Dude, you'd be surprised at how much stuff goes on in Kentucky. And that's
Western
all I'll say.
Kentucky has a large population of
Eastern Kentucky has a large population.
Mexican immigrants.
Yes.
A
Eastern.
large population. We joke that there's one particular Walmart in one town that if you go to that Walmart, they've got like 9 aisles of Spanish stuff that you can't get. You go to our Walmart, you got like half an aisle. You go to the other Walmart, they got like 9 aisles and shit you ain't never heard of that you're like, ooh, I want to try this.
When I lived in the western part of Virginia, right across the border of Kentucky and Tennessee, there was this Mexican restaurant that we would all go to in Kentucky it was top shelf. It was great. It was so good. And the daughter or the son, I forget, it had to be the son of the guy who was running the place, started dating a politician's daughter from that town. And the daughter ran away with the son. So the father, the politician from this Kentucky town, calls in ICE. It shut the restaurant down. They were all there illegally. Whew.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some stuff we can get to here real quick. It's kind of
Crazy
interesting.
stuff.
I got some AI stuff. JJ, do you want to hear?
Oh,
get to do this
yeah.
very often
Let's see if
anymore,
I have
Gary?
what's that? I know it's
it's since we've moved to Rumble, it's been tougher.
Uh-oh.
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI News.
Don't
It says
don't
you're
pay
two
attention to the
dads.
dinner. Yeah. I have a
Oh, I didn't even notice that. They have a new, smaller thought-to-text chip that has achieved 91% accuracy. Let me fix my stupid microphone here. This brain-machine interface is on. Neuralink isn't the only one. This new, small, and thin chip out of Switzerland makes Neuralink look downright clunky by comparison. It also works impressively well. The chip has been developed by researchers at this institute that I'm not even going to begin to pronounce, and represents a leap forward in all of this crap. Brain-machine interfaces, BMIs. The devices are able to read activity in the brain and translate it into real-world output, such as text on screen. A miniaturized brain-machine interface. This thing is, it's tiny. It's tiny. It's so tiny that you have to have an algebraic equation to talk about how tiny it is. But do what?
What? Okay.
Yeah,
It's a picture. It's tiny.
I know, but I
Is
don't
that
know what it's talking about there. It's
Well, look. I mean, that's a pair of tweezers, and it's so tiny that you can only pick it up with that's tweezers on the left hand side.
Those aren't just tweezers. Those are like special.
those are
special
roach
tweezers.
tips, man. Yeah,
Hey,
you
no.
get roaches out of your kitchen with those, brother, man. All right. Anyway, so this it allows to convert intricate neural activity into readable text with high accuracy and low power consumption. This advancement brings us closer to practical, implantable solutions that can significantly enhance communication abilities for individuals with severe motor impairments. So this is you can read this article if you want to. This is basically an advancement for helping. The first thing I think of are soldiers coming back from the war. You know, all those soldiers that came back from the war, this could help them regain. You know, there is a thing that goes on here that's going on next week that I'm emceeing part of, and it's specifically it's a fundraiser for this thing where they take soldiers and they take them out on excursions, but they're not like every soldier. They're like soldiers that are real bad, PTSD, and there's a real high suicide rate with those people. Can something like this fix that? You know,
Possibly.
I think it's really cool. It's
Maybe
it's a step. Ruby.
Can we? I've never thought about this. I always think about like these Neuralink robot chips or whatever they're for solving logistical problems, mechanical failure or bio failure where you're paralyzed or whatever, or so you can operate things. But I've never thought about using a chip to manage your emotional state, to stabilize your mood,
the emotions,
Or
physical movement, everything when you get down to a molecular level is the exact same. I'm actually listening to this book right now called Evolve Your Brain. And for the first 7 chapters, it's been like a course in brain anatomy is all we've been talking about, how everything works. It's so fascinating. And it's your emotions, everything at the base level is the exact same. So yes, something like this that could help get
Well,
those
you're-
connections back would help out
you're-
quite a bit. Hang on.
Your emotional state, your mood is manipulated by chemical releases in your brain.
Electronic, yeah. So
Serotonin, dopamine, whatever. And yeah, you could probably use a chip to stimulate the glands that release those chemicals so that you
could
don't have
someone who doesn't like you, they could probably, I don't know, theoretically hack it,
Why would they do that?
communicator and twist it
wouldn't-
and make you do something. Oh, dude, we just a few years ago we had a woman cut off her husband's stuff in the middle of the night because he cheated on her.
Yeah, that was
You don't think that
was
won't
40 years ago.
happen?
But yeah, 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
No, like, yeah, people will lie to you and emotionally manipulate you right now. So the idea that people would, use their brain chip to send a message to yours to like,
Or, dude, mess with you while you're asleep.
program
Someone
you while you're sleeping.
I would assume that it's got to work from some kind of near field communication. I'm assuming there's not a link that hooks her
Well-
up like Matrix style.
Is it now?
Maybe
Is
it
this
does.
one now? The Neuralink is actually implanted.
Yes,
So
that one's implanted, but there's an interface for the Neuralink. I don't know if there's going to
like
be
a physical interface.
there's an interface.
I mean,
yes,
These brain chips should not have wireless anything. They should not. Right? Am I wrong?
I would agree.
But then, people that are like, I mean,
But
I'm
how
trying
long
to
before
think
we go
both.
to wireless,
here.
just for the ease?
I mean, like,
Right, it's gonna happen.
we gotta make code adjustments or whatever. You gotta be plugged in, or you do wireless, or from let's say from a utilitarian perspective, if somebody is literally a quadriplegic, then the wireless, like the chip having wireless, allows them to interact with like the computer or whatever remotely, so that they can control the computer. But if the chip has wireless, then it can receive messages and it can receive code. So like, oh gee, I don't know, man. I don't know what's better. Where are you at on this stuff? Like, if like for real, like
I
if
don't know.
say one of
If
your
you can make somebody's
conversation-
life better, I think it's something that needs to be explored. However, we have to realize there are consequences to that too. I mean, there's nothing that stops a doctor going in for surgery from just go ahead and killing you while he's in there.
Right, and we've seen doctors do that. We've seen nurses do that. You have like people that are like serial killers that are nurses. They just go in there and just like a little air in your bubble.
little
Nobody
air.
will ever see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had an embolism or what have you. And so, like, if you engineer a system that can be manipulated by bad people, people will find a way to do that. They will. So I had never thought before that someone would use their ability to impact your Neuralink chip to moderate your emotions, to manipulate your emotions. That would be.
What's the difference though between an emotion and a
Really
movement in the body? It's just a different part of the brain.
Yeah. But it certainly, I think that certainly some people are especially vulnerable to being persuaded or convinced in a certain mood.
And once we have these things out in public, again, this is the first time we're seeing it. That doesn't mean that it hasn't already been out there. Somebody in the paranoia spectrum is already going to assume they've been implanted with one of these. What's up, Deke? He came back right at the right time. We're talking about
we're talking about
implanted.
implanting. Sorry, that was a new little listener old lady. She was cute. All right, I got just a couple more. I don't want to
Do you think
derail.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't want to derail the conversation. Whatever y'all were talking about, keep going.
It might already be
Oh,
derailed.
we're just talking about how easy it could be for a malicious actor to emotionally and mentally manipulate somebody that has one of these chips.
Absolutely. That's a Black Mirror episode if I've never heard one.
On the other hand, it could be possible for, say, an aspiring broadcaster to write a script that compels people to like and subscribe to a show.
Or
if they have
that.
this Neuralink.
Or that.
So you guys could.
I don't have the Neuralink yet. What about a biohybrid robot? Are you prepared for those? JJ,
Bop.
Yeah.
Oh,
JJ, Dave, are we biohybrid robots? We're electricity. We're bionic.
I would say
bioorganisms.
intelligent design might suggest that we are. We are machines.
So
You're a meat computer.
a meat computer. In 2014, researchers at the University
That's
of
my new
Illinois
bio.
created a microscopic swimming robot. This accomplishment alone might not have attracted much attention, but what set it apart was how they constructed their creation with cardiac muscle cells derived from rats. It was one of the very first biohybrid robots. Well, now scientific advances have increasingly shown that biological beings aren't just born, they can be built. 2 years after the biohybrid swimmers, researchers at Harvard scaled up the idea to make the first biohybrid animal, a 16-millimeter long ray with a body of elastomer, a skeleton of gold, and muscles made of rat cells. The critter guided through the water at a meandering yet meaningful pace, steered and powered by light. Light. It's very interesting. Biohybrid robots. JJ. So
when was this?
this is recently.
Okay.
This article came out yesterday, 2 days ago.
But when what? I mean,
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't like 2 weeks ago. I'm sure this was several months ago. It took a while to get the paper published and stuff. Most recently, the team has made a small biohybrid robot that walks with a human gait. Another constructed a robotic hand that can sense with built-in biological neural networks. Scary. Not only are you going to have robot dogs with machine guns, you're going to have like biohybrid creatures. If that doesn't freak you out, let me give you one that may freak you out. All right.
Why don't we just put machine guns on real dogs? Let's just put machine guns on real dogs. Hey, little dude, you ready?
Dogs killed.
Oh,
hang on. Let me ask him. Little dude.
He heard you.
Little dude, do you want a machine gun?
would you like a Second Amendment right? Little
You want
dude?
a tank? Are you a tank? Huh? Are you a tank?
No, he's a sniper. he wants
You a sniper? Little dude's like, I'm a lover, not a fighter, dude. All right, I got one for you. Okay, let me start with this story. Let me start with this other story first. Would you drink glacier water? If
they sell that in the store?
Let's say we've been hiking on this glacier for 2-3 days, camping out and hiking. No, seriously, we've been hiking and camping out, and we come across this pool of crystal clear water. Just we can see it's just crystal clear glacier water. Would you drink it?
Well, okay, hold on. In your scenario, did we bring water on our hike, or have we had some sort of a disastrous accident where we
Jesus
don't have
Christ,
water of
of
our own?
course you're going to have 7,000 questions. Are you going to drink the glacier water or not?
I feel like it's a trick, but how
It's
can
not
it
trick.
be bad?
I
It's
would
frozen.
drink it. I would drink it in a heartbeat. Absolutely,
Okay.
I would drink it.
We sell glacial water in the store.
Yeah, and that crap's filtered as crap. All the water that you drink is non-living water, and we should not be drinking it. Human beings need to be drinking living water. If you don't believe me, you need to look that crap up. Anyway, what I was getting at is Ludacris has sparked alarm by drinking unfiltered Alaskan glacier water. And a glaciologist says that he's totally fine. But there was a video of him drinking some glacier water, and he dipped an empty water bottle into a blue pristine pool of water and he drank it. And then people freaked out because people are stupid and people believe everything that's told to them. So
Drink water from a creek.
What is the downside of drinking glacier water?
I've drank water from a creek. Yeah, there's nothing.
We used to, like before we had refrigeration, they used to literally chop up icebergs and deliver that as ice. So
there is a place near me that's called they've changed the name over, no, they've changed the name over the years. But what they were known for 150 years ago was this area had 5 or 6 different springs that came up in this little part of this area, 5 or 6 different springs. And the old people used to say, whatever ails you, you have to drink from a particular stream on the land. So if you've got this, you go and drink from this spring. If you got this, you go and drink from this spring. It had like 5 different ones, and that's the old people. And I can't remember the name of it.
Dawson Springs?
No, but it's on the other side of Dawson Springs. So anyway, drinking glacier water. All right. JJ still don't know if he's going to do it or not. All right.
I'm listening.
So it might be a good idea that you didn't do that. And I
thought you said it was okay. 1,000 viruses unknown to science.
So let's go to a glacier in, I believe this is in India, in the mountains.
That's the living water, man.
It's the living water, brother.
We were just talking about.
Yes, it's actually in Nepal. Researchers have unearthed nearly 1,700 ancient virus species hidden in the glacial ice of the Himalayas. These viruses, around 3/4 of which were previously unknown to science, were discovered thanks to scraps of viral DNA frozen in ice cores that were taken from the Galuya Glacier in the Tibetan Plateau. Analyzing the DNA of these ancient viruses, the researchers hope to better understand how viruses adapt to changing climates. They actually say that majority of these viruses, if not all of them, are probably won't do anything. Probably. But according to the paper, the viruses came from across 9 time horizons spanning 3 cold to warm cycles over the past 41,000 years.
What kind of horizons?
9 time horizons.
Not event horizons?
Not event horizon. Don't play a clip. But this glacial sample these cores were taken nearly 4 miles above sea level on this glacier. Isn't that crazy? So ancient viruses in permafrost have been unearthed in other locations around the world, including Siberia. This has sparked fears that one of these viruses could infect humans as permafrost and glaciers around the world are melting due to climate change.
Zombie virus.
Yeah. Thankfully, these ancient viruses likely infected bacteria rather than animals or humans.
Oh, well, luckily we don't have to worry about anything about
bacteria. Luckily we don't have bacteria in anything. And humans don't have bacteria.
And,
so there you go.
we don't come in contact with bacteria.
Except maybe yogurt, right? Yogurt.
I like yogurt.
Do you have any music for us today? Did you pick a song?
I didn't pick a song today because of everything that was going on.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a big deal. We'll get you Monday.
All right. You know what? Okay, let's do jokes. Let's end the show. Let's do jokes because I'm getting hungry.
I gotta have a joke, don't I?
Yeah.
Joke.
Give me a second.
Much like this show often reminds me of the first time that I rode an elevator. You guys remember the first time you rode an elevator?
Did it let you down?
No.
No, the first time that I rode an elevator was an uplifting experience, Dave.
Oh,
The second time really let me down.
I was scrolling through Facebook last night and I saw a picture of an old buddy I hadn't seen in a long time. I was thinking, there's my buddy. And the last time I saw him was at a costume party a couple of Halloweens ago. And I remember the costume that he wore. He walked in and he had this girl on his back. And I was like, what are you supposed to be? And he said, I'm a turtle. And I was like, what's that? And he said, oh, that's Michelle. The girl's name was Michelle.
Michelle.
Michelle. I love that you can visually see the joke go over JJ's head, and then you could see it in the background boomerang back around and come back and smack him in the forehead. That was brilliant.
Such a dumb joke. Okay.
I know it's so
So
stupid.
it's hot. We're at the final days of summer, and I decided to have all my neighbors over for a cookout. And I'm grilling all these hamburgers. I run inside to grab the seasoning salt and some cheese. Come back outside, and half of the burgers are gone.
Uh-oh.
And there's no one else around. So I start asking the hamburgers, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? And no matter how hard I grilled them, they would not answer me.
All right.
Yeah,
Mixed response. All right.
That's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I'm gonna pitch my wife on the boys' night idea. I think that's the way to go.
You gotta tell me about the boys' night idea.
One night a month.
I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna do like one night a month instead of trying to do the Friday morning thing. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Here's the outro video.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose